Hi guys. Oh no, it looks like we're not live again. What is happening? All right. Something is just not quite right with Facebook, you guys. And I'm not sure. Oh wait, there's a person. There's two people. I was so afraid because the little timer went away and the live button disappeared and then it came back as I had picked up my phone. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see you guys. I was so scared. I just finished telling Sarah, I was like, I'm really nervous about Facebook Live because the last time I tried to do Facebook Live, it just was not working. I updated all the settings and so, thank you. You have no idea how relieved I am to see that number start counting. I was like, oh, we are live. Glad I didn't blow my nose or anything. Hey guys, I'm so happy to see you. I'm so happy to see you. There's Stacia and Betty and Sue. Oh, Sherry says we are here. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. You guys, so how is the week going? This marks our this marks our halfway mark through the week, right? This is just a kind of a little lunchtime treat for you that we do once a week here right in the middle of the week to kind of get you over that Wednesday hump on into Thursday, and then we can see the Friday and Saturday. I mean, I can just smell it. Can you? I'm really looking forward to this weekend coming up. So I'm always looking forward to the weekend, but you know, some weekends are more deserved than others, I think. And I'm not exceptionally tired this week. I can see you, Maggie. I can totally see you. Can you see me? I mean, I can't see you. Don't freak out and brush your hair and you know what I mean. Okay, so I know lots of chit chat, but I'm so relieved that you guys are here. All right, let's talk. I know I was talking about the weekend and yeah, you know the story. Let's talk about the good stuff. All right. The good stuff is that, first of all, on the Jessie James Beads website, and I know that you guys who have already tuned in know, there's silver silk right under that what's new. Oh, wow. Cannot wait to play with that. And let's see, that's not all. That is not all, my friends. So Destination North Pole, you guys, I got to talk about the Destination North Pole because we recently, with Jessie James Beads, Jessie James Beads recently opened the payment plan back up. For those of you who wanted to do the 3 monthly payments instead of paying for it all, you're so welcome, Christy. For all of, you don't want to pay for it all at once is what I was trying to say. So that has been opened. For a little bit now, right? Giving everybody an opportunity to go ahead and sign up. Well, I do want to mention that tonight is the last night. So you've got all of today into tonight. That is going to be the cutoff if you want to use that 3-month payment plan for the Destination North Pole. And I gotta say, I'm just really excited that option, we started out with that option, and then we brought the option back to do that. I feel like it is such a great way to get everybody that wants to be involved. Times are weird, right? And where we spend our money, we're very, very particular and picky about that, particularly this time of year. That was a lot of P words. Particularly this time of year. And Jessie James Beads gets that. They totally understand. We understand. All of the artists understand that, it may be difficult to just drop a lump sum on something. And so the payment plan was certainly appreciated by everyone, I think, and it was just a loving gesture, if you will, right? Because there were people saying that they wanted to, but they just couldn't afford to do it all at once, and the payment plan was going to be the way to go. And I feel like when you guys ask, Jessie James Beads delivers, and they're good for that. I mean, they really care. So take advantage of that. Now, again, there is a cutoff, and that is tonight. You got to sign up by today if you want to use the payment option to do that. If not, you can still continue to sign up maybe. Is that right, Sarah? How long do we have to sign up for the Destination North Pole? When is the cutoff, like for all cutoff? I'm not really sure about that one, but if you're going to sign up, you got to sign up now. Like, don't wait, right? Don't wait. And use the payment plan. That is just so stinking cool, right? I mean, that's the way I would sign up. Just saying. I got a house full of people, so I definitely would sign up that way. All right. Yeah, see, Marcia says it was a huge help and it changed my mind. I know, and it can be tough this time of year. Everybody's watching where those pennies are going, and the uncertainty of all things. I mean, it just makes people, you know. So I think the payment plan was perfectly suited for what we do and well received by you guys. So let's see, we have till they sell out, 40 spots left. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me just reiterate really quickly. That's amazing. Okay, so that's good news. You've got till tonight to sign up for the payment plan, and then however long it takes to sell out 40 spots, which could quite honestly happen by the end of the day if we're being real about it. So, I mean, don't wait. You might miss out. Don't be late. Don't be late to elf practice. Sorry, words. I'm just really excited. All right, so let me dial it down a bit. I'm just so overly enthusiastic about having internet connection. You just don't know. Like, inside, I'm doing cartwheels and backflips. That's why it's kind of leaking out of my face here, coming out of my mouth. So the weekly deals this Wednesday, our Wednesday lives are usually set up to be a kind of a design on the fly using the weekly deals. And excuse me. That is exactly what we're going to do today. I have a plan in mind. I know what we're going to do. I just haven't executed it yet, which is a lot of fun and could possibly be a disaster, but I don't think it will be. I think we're going to make some pretty stuff today. We're going to make something easy. So we're going to do a bracelet and earrings. That's the plan. And we're going to use the weekly deals. So just a refresher, the weekly deals are, one of them is a free spool of Bead-A-Lon Elasticity with a $49 cart, and the code for that is MAKER. Oh my gosh, that's my favorite game ever, Wanda. You're excused for being late. Okay, anyway. So you can get a free spool. I want to mix those two words together, of Elasticity with a $49 cart. The code is MAKER. Elasticity, you guys, you can never have enough elasticity, right? I mean, you just can't. Elasticity is one of those things that you've got to have around, and you got to have plenty of it, because stretch bracelets are amazing. Even some of the most high-end bougie companies in the jewelry industry sell stretch bracelets for an unbelievable amount of money. So there is absolutely nothing wrong with stretch. I love stretch bracelets. I'm talking no clasp, no fussing, no nothing. And it's one of my favorite ways to use a Jesse James bead strand. Speaking of which, 10% off bead strands this week with the code STRAND10. So you can load up your cart with some strands and make yourself some stretch bracelets. They are perfect gift, right? They're the perfect gift because you don't know what to think about it. The bead team does the hard work for you. They put together the most beautiful strands. You just put them on some elasticity and tie some good knots, and you're good to go. You've got gifts for everybody. And then last but not least, this is a really great mix in with your strands, is the buy 3 get 1 free check glass. And you guys, you know how I feel about Jesse James Beads check glass. The quality is top notch, and I've touched a lot of check glass. These hands have been around a lot of check glass over the past 15 years. And I got to tell you, not all check glass is created equal. And, you know, Jesse James Beads, they are very particular about the check glass beads that they sell, you guys. And these are great. They're great. They're beautiful. They look beautiful all by themselves. They look beautiful mixed in with the other Jesse James beads. They're just a good staple to have in your arsenal of jewelry making and your bead supply, right? You can never have too much check glass beads. So this is a great one. Buy 3, get 1 free. It's a great mix-in bead, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to mix in some beads with a strand. We're going to put them on elasticity, and we're also going to take some of the beads from the strand and make a pair of earrings. So This is going to be an easy project. There's nothing hard going on here today. This is going to be easy and fun, but hopefully a way to like kind of get you thinking about mixing your Czech glass in and whatever this is. We're mixing beads. Mixing in your Czech glass beads with your strands and get you thinking about gift giving, right? Gift giving and all of the things that you can do that are not going to take a whole lot of time to create and are not going to break the budget either, particularly when you've got the weekly deals to help you out. Okay, so shall we get down to it? I feel like I've done a lot of talking, but there had a lot of things to say. I mean, it just happens. So, all right, let's get down to it. I've got one of my favorite strands to work with today, you guys. Can't wait for you guys to see this one. So, this is the Halloween strand. This is part of the Halloween collection. This is the Gothic Strand. And I am so in love with this because this is not necessarily like classic Halloween, right? There's no orange and black going on here. Instead, we've got this smoky gray that I am completely obsessed with, which you guys know because our last project I actually have on at the moment. I really, really love grays and silvers in beads. And then you mix in the black and the metal pops in here. So there's that gunmetal color, there's the antique silver color. I mean, this strand is just absolutely a stunner, right? And I wouldn't miss out on this one. You know, this colorway, this is not just Halloween. This is going to work for all year. I mean, I don't know. It might not be the best summer jewelry. I mean, you could split it up if you wanted to. I mean, you can't ever go wrong with gray and black and silver. But as far as the rest of the year is concerned, I totally see this, you know, in the rest of the year. Nobody has to know this was a Halloween strand if you're not feeling particularly spooky with it. It just has gorgeous beads. So it has the beautiful faceted rondelles. You've got these black kind of disco ball beads. You've got these awesome spacers, these really big, beautiful glass pearls. These guys are probably my favorite on the strand. They are a large hole bead, so you can use these in a lot of different ways. But they've got this gorgeous like gunmetal seed bead all over it. It's like a beaded bead, but not, because it's like inset in clay. I don't know. It's just really, really beautiful to me. Can't go wrong with cage beads. You've got these gorgeous faceted glass. And then of course the boho is amazing. So the boho really kind of ties the entire strand together because that mother of pearl shell that is all over it has that kind of flash of purple, which means we can bring in some purple with this, which is exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to show you the Czech glass beads that I have pulled to kind of mix in with this. And all of these beads, you guys, are available on the Jessie James Beads website, okay? I may not get the names exactly right, but I do want to show you. I just thought this was a really good kind of mix to go with this strand, right? What do you think? So we've got some of these matte gray pearls. These are 8mm Czech glass pearls. I thought they're not exactly the same color as the large pearl here, but I feel like it's still going to really work. It's going to look really beautiful. And then these mini twists in this kind of smoky gray blue color, which again goes really beautiful with this. And then these guys, I can't remember what these are called, but this really cool fun shape. It's like a pillow shape, but it has this kind of fun cut to it. In a purple that is very, very close to that purple that's in that boho in the center, right? So I thought this was just a really, really pretty mix. We're going to make some earrings. We're going to make a stretch bracelet. We're not going to take the strand and restring it just as it is. I'm actually going to kind of pick and choose from this and mix in some of the Czech glass beads. However, you totally can, and that's one of the things I want you to take away from this is that you don't have to rework the strand. Then you can just restring, or you can string rather, your Czech glass beads separately, like a whole strand of the pearls, a whole strand of the purple, a whole strand of the twist. That's going to give you a really nice bracelet stack, which makes a beautiful gift, right? But we are going to break ours apart a little bit, and I'm going to pull some beads from this to create an earring, okay? All right, so let's get started, shall we? Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is I want to kind of figure out what I want my strand to be for my bracelet, or rather, I know what the strand is going to be. It's this strand, but what I want the bracelet strand to look like. So I know immediately that I can't use the boho for an earring because there's only the one. So he's going to have to stay in the center of our bracelet, which I'm totally fine with because he's gorgeous. So we're going to sit him right here. That's going to be our centerpiece. I think I'm going to use the bead caps for our earrings. We've actually done this before. But it's been a really, really long time. So I want to show you the bead cap earrings again, because I feel like it's been over a year since we did a bead cap earring, and you could just use a refresher because it's super simple and easy, but it's also kind of thinking outside the box with things. So that's what we're going to do. Remember, when you're taking your strand apart, if you're going to build earrings out of it, that you remove enough to make 2 earrings, not just one. Because I know in the lives, a lot of times we just make 1 earring and then I either have the mate already made, or in this case, because it's a design on the fly, I'll make the mate for it afterwards. Just remember that you got to take out. So we're going to use 2 bead caps for 1 earring. I got to take out 4 because I've got to make the mate at some point. Okay. So I'm going to sit the bead caps over here to the side for a second. And then for the bracelet, I want to keep these beautiful big black beads because they're just gorgeous. And I'm going to kind of change things up a little bit. We're going to put the rhinestone spacers, and I want to keep these guys. Yeah, I want to keep those. And we've got a lot left here, but I think I'm just going to keep the black beads. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do because, okay, so I want this to be my center, and then I'm going to use the purple check as kind of the length of the bracelet, tie in that purple. Everybody needs to just stay right there. Make our beads behave here. Okay, so I'm going to use the purple as our length here. But what I want to do is I don't know how many of these we're going to need. I want to use these in another way. So I don't know if we'll do it here or if I'll do it afterwards and take a picture, but I think what I want is I want to use just a single one of these and make a strand or make a bracelet with all of the pearls and this guy in the middle, right? And that will kind of tie in the whole pearl blue color. And then I may do the same thing with the rondelle. I don't know if I want to do it with the twist beads though. I may. So like just having a bracelet that just has, or the pearl, I mean, not the rondelle, just has one big pop in the center and then the check glass for the rest. I'm not sure. I will probably do that afterwards. I'll take some pictures so you guys can kind of see. But that still leaves me with these extra beads. And of course I've got these guys, which I can use in other jewelry. And then I still have my my cage beads here, which you guys know can very easily be turned into earrings. Just quick and easy. Couple of jump rings and an ear wire and you've got a pair of earrings, right? Okay, so I'm gonna string this just like it is, and then we're gonna build some earrings. Okay, so I love that purple with that boho bead. So I'm just going to take some of my elasticity. I'm going to cut more than I think I need. So definitely want to be sure that you give yourself plenty of elasticity to work with. And you always want to pre-stretch the elasticity, which seems kind of strange for those of you who have never used elasticity before. You would think that what you're doing is actually taking away the elastic part of it, but you're not. You really need to wake up all of the little particles that make your elasticity elastic. If you don't pre-stretch it and you put your bracelet together, then when you go to put it on, all of a sudden it will sag after a little while, where the weight of the beads will really kind of drag it down and your bracelet will be really, really big. You know how when you buy blue jeans sometimes and they have that stretch to them and they fit like a glove when you put them on, by the end of the day, they're like, you know, sagging down to your knees and you've got droopy rear end and that whole bit. That's kind of how I feel about elasticity. You got to stretch it out ahead of time so that you don't end up with droopy drawers at the end of the day. That is a weird way to look at things, but yes, this is how my brain works. So pre-stretch it really, really well, okay? And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I don't think we're going to need that many. I'm going to thread this on not necessarily in the order that it goes, because I want to end on a large hole bead so that I can tie my knot and tuck it into one of those. So I'm going to thread all of my Czech glass beads on first. Somebody in the group called me a knucklehead and said that that's why they liked me, was because I was a knucklehead. And it was like for a split second I wanted to be offended, like, I'm not a knucklehead, and then I thought about it and I was like, I'm totally a knucklehead. I totally am, and that's okay. I own it. That's, you know, that's where the droopy drawers and jewelry, yeah, I mean, who else would say something like that? Totally a Sarah thing. All right. So there are my Czech glass beads, and it's going to be kind of the length of my bracelet here, which is about the same length as what I've got here. You guys, I have a really small wrist, so you probably, you know, those of you with like normal size appendages are probably going to need a little bit bigger of a bracelet. So you might want to add another Czech glass bead or so. So never really go on my measurements when it comes to elastic bracelets, because I definitely have a tiny little twig wrist. Okay, so I want to tie my hole here, right? I want to tie my knot here with the large hole bead. So the rest of this I'm going to thread on kind of backwards. So, well, it's not really backwards, but I split up here. You know what I mean. Just so that my ends are going to be next to a large hole bead, and then I can tuck that knot, because the elasticity, the kind of knot that I tie with the elasticity tends to be a larger knot, and some people don't like for the knots to show. So when possible, I like to try to conceal the knot if I can. It's not always possible, and it really doesn't bother me because the elasticity is clear. But if it does bother you, you know, then add a large hole bead and try to tuck it in. So this is what our bracelet is going to look like, which I think is going to be really, really pretty. I've got my elasticity coming out here between these two beads. It's the perfect place to tie my knot. Now, I realize before I tie the knot, you guys, a lot of you have seen me tie this knot a bunch. However, there are some new people. Welcome, by the way. So glad that you are here. But I realize that there are several different ways that you can tie elasticity. Everybody seems to have a different kind of take on how and what the knot should be and the steps. And a lot of people go with the tried and true square knot for the elasticity. I have never had very much luck with the square knot using my elasticity. So I'm going to tie the knot that is actually on the back of the packaging, which is not a square knot. This is actually a double surgeon's knot, and it's double because it's double the strands. Okay, so instead of taking my two ends of elasticity and crossing them, like one going one way and one going the other way, right, and tying a square knot, I'm actually going to take my two ends and bring them together so that they're both running in the same direction. Notice how they're running in the same direction in this picture, right? And I'm going to tie a surgeon's knot, which means I'm just going to loop through the loop twice, okay? Now, the reason that this knot is on the back of the packaging is because it works, and that's why I use it. I have used the square knot several times and I can't get it to stay. It doesn't matter how many ways I do it, how many times I try it, how much I pull on it, I can't get the square knot to stay. But this knot is tried and true. The only drawback to this knot is that it is a little bit bigger than your square knot. This is going to be a bulky knot. It's super, super secure, but it does create a big bulk of a knot that I really like to hide, okay? So let me just show you how it goes. Okay, pulling it out a little bit. I've got both ends going the same way. I'm going to use my fingers. I'm going to loop the elasticity around my fingers. Okay, and then that's my loop here. Now I'm going to take my ends. I'm going to loop through once, and then I'm going to loop through a second time. So that's that surgeon's knot. Okay, and now I'm going to pull, and I'm pulling tight, and as I'm pulling my fingers out really, really slowly, just to try to keep everything, see, and I've moved down to now I'm pinching it in my fingers, pulling and pinching and pulling and pinching until I get it completely off of my fingers. Now, that's the knot. Looks kind of big and bulky, right? I want to pull on it some more. I want to adjust it a little bit with my fingers. It's going to look like a barrel knot. See how there are several, well, there's 3 rows. That's exactly what you want, okay? You want it to look like a barrel knot. And the more you pull on it, the tighter it's actually going to get. So I pull on it this direction, and then when I get the knot tied, then I pull on it this direction. That's going to let me know for sure that that knot is not going to come undone, but it's also tightening it up even further. So you tighten on this side and then you tighten on the other side. And then I like to come in with my cutter tool, trim off, and then just tuck that in. And it's gone. Never see it. Never ever see it. And a lot of times with that knot, I don't even add glue to it, okay? Because it is such a secure knot. And, you know, I have absolutely no problems giving that as a gift. I know that knot is going to stay. If you feel like you need to add the glue just for the insurance of it, then go for it, right? There's no reason that you can't do that. But I really feel like it's not super necessary, because that's the strongest knot that I have ever used with elasticity. Okay. And if you ever wonder about it, it's on the back of the package. It's right there for you. Okay, so there's our bracelet. Gorgeous, quick and easy, right? Now let's put together a pair of earrings to go with this as well. So we are going to use the bead caps that came from our our strand. We're making an earring. I'm going to use some pearls. I want to use one of the purple beads to kind of pull it all together. And then I'm going to use 7 of these twist beads. Now, I know that looks like a lot at first, but 4, 5, 6, 7, you're just going to have to trust me on this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some head pins, and we are going to do wrapped loops on all of these. Okay, and so that's 7 of those. I'll go slow with the first like 2, and then I'll speed it up a little bit, because I know 7 is a lot of beads to have to sit and watch me do, but it is designed on the fly, so none of these were done ahead of time. So threading that onto one of the head pins, okay, I'm going to come in with my chain nose pliers. Let me move this out of the way so that we can kind of try to keep things as in focus as possible. I feel like the iPad kind of struggles when there's too much to look at. All right, so we are going to grab that wire right where it is exiting the bead with our chain nose pliers, and we're going to give it a good bend. Make things even better here. Okay, I'm going to take those away, and you can see there's a space between the bend in our wire and the top of the bead. That's the perfect amount of space to come in with our round nose pliers. Grab the wire so it is running between the barrel of the pliers. Okay, you want to take that wire up and over the top barrel of the pliers. Notice I'm not moving the pliers, I'm only moving the wire. Okay, now I'm going to rotate the pliers out of the way so that I can take the wire over to the other side. That's going to give us our loop. And now I'm going to take our tail end of the wire and wire wrap in that space between our loop and the top of the bead. And I should be able to get about 3 wraps in there, and then I will trim off the tail with our cutter tool. Okay. I could probably have gotten 4 wraps in there, but I don't want to push it because I don't want to crack the top of my bead. So it's better to be safe than destroy a bead. Okay. All right, coming in with the cutter tool, I'm going to trim that off. All right, now we just want to repeat that with the rest of our little twist beads, and we've got 6 more to go. So I will try to go through these quickly, but we're just following the same steps: bending the wire, Round nose pliers coming in, up and over, roll the pliers, wire over to the other side, and then wire wrap in this space. Okay, there's two. Come in, trim that off. I've seen some of you posting pictures online of snow, and I am so jealous. So jealous. I know you guys probably don't feel that way. I know that people that live places where there's snow often, they you know, it's not a welcome sight, but I live somewhere where snow is so rare. I would love to have some snow. I would love to just have some colder temperatures. It was chilly for about a week and a half, and the temperature has been kind of creeping back up on us here. I'm ready for it to come down and stay down. Those of you who have snow, please send. I have a P.O. box. I will take it. Okay. There's three. How are we doing out there? You guys are being awfully quiet today. Or maybe my comments are messed up. I don't know. You guys are usually pretty chatty on Wednesdays. I'm not seeing a lot of chatting going on. I do see lots of new faces though, so welcome in. Welcome in. We are doing design on the fly. We're doing design on the fly with the weekly deals from Jesse James Beads, just to kind of let you know. We're doing a quick and easy design, a gift giving perhaps set of earrings and a bracelet. And just to kind of go back over the weekly deals really quickly, Czech glass is buy 3 get 1 free with the code Czech. You can get 10% off strands with the code strands, or I'm sorry, strand 10. I can see your comments now. I see you now. I see you now. And then last but not least is a free spool of Elasticity, which is what we made our bracelet out of just a second ago. So it's really good weekly deals. And on Wednesdays here on Jesse James Beads, we use those for our Design on the Fly Facebook Live project. So we are truly kind of flying by the seat of our pants. I know what this design is going to be. I just haven't quite executed it. So if it happens to fall apart and fail, we get to all experience the fun together. I see some of you wanting to send me your snow. I will gladly take it. I will gladly take it. Okay, so we've got 5 of the twists done. We need 2 more twists, and then we are going to start kind of putting this earring together. Yeah, and I saw Jane said Indian summer. I'm so over summer. Go away, summer temperatures. I'm done with you now. It is mid-October. It is time for me to get out the warm blankets and those crisp mornings where you can see your breath. That's my favorite. I love that. Questions. Uh-oh, there are questions. Hold on. Let me trim this off and I'll scroll back here. All right. How do you know when the elastic is stretched enough? Well, let me show you how different it looks, because it absolutely does look different, and you'll be able to feel it. You'll be able to tell just by holding it. Some of it I can't really explain, you know, but you kind of have to take my word for it. So you can see how nice and thick this one is. This hasn't been stretched out yet. When I stretch it, when I pre-stretch it before I string my beads on, when you stretch it out, it's going to make it a little bit thinner as well. So now you can see, I don't know if you can tell the difference or not, but this section here is a bit thinner than this, the end where I can't get it stretched. Can you tell the difference? Let me see if I can. It's hard to show you because it's clear. So, but you can see where you stretch it out. So it starts out really, really thick, and then it's going to get thin on you, and it's still elastic. It's a little bit more springy. You'll notice that it's after you pre-stretch it, it's really, really springy, and it'll thin down for you, and that's how you know. All right, was there another question? Rosanna has her wool blanket on her bed. Oh, I love it. How will you handle Halloween this year? Hold on, I'll get back to that one. Do you make stretch bracelets a tiny bit smaller than your wrist? Yes, that is a really good question. Thank you for asking that one. Was there another question? Oh, what gauge head pins are you using? So the ones that I'm using are, I believe they're 21 gauge. But I'm not particular. 21 gauge or 24 gauge, either one of those I'm good with. You just have to be careful and make sure that the end is not going, your bead's not going to slide off the end. Obviously the 24 gauge ones have a little bit smaller of a head. How much extra string do you need to measure, including the knot? I do not know the answer to that question. I wish that I could give you the answer to that. It's gonna take a lot of different things into consideration. It's gonna be what diameter of elasticity you're using. That's gonna change things up a bit. The size and shapes of your beads are gonna change things up a bit. So I wish that I could give you like an exact measurement, but I can't. And the reason that the diameter matters is because the diameter of the elasticity is going to change the bulkiness of the knot. So obviously your really thin elasticity is not going to make nearly the size of a knot and take up as much elasticity to make a knot as your larger diameter elasticity. So you really just kind of have to play around with it. I wish I had a better answer for you. I know that's not what you were looking for. I know you really wanted me to like have a magic number. I wish I did. Oh, whoops. All right, let's put this together. So as far as Halloween is concerned, those of you who are new here, I do a huge Halloween haunt every year, and we do it for charity, and this year we're not doing it at all, you guys. It just seemed like it was too much of a risk for my actors, and I didn't, we get really close to people, so we're not doing it this year. I'm very, very sad about it. Okay, so let's move on to putting this all together. Now you may be wondering, what on earth am I going to do with all 7 of those beads? Well, our bead cap here, if you will notice, I'm going to point with my pliers, has these little holes on each one of the petals. We're actually going to hang all of these beads from those little holes, and we're going to use our bead cap as part of our design. It looks like a little umbrella, right? We're going to hang beads from it, and then we're going to put it all together. I promise that sounds really weird. It's going to look kind of funny at first, but when it all comes together, it will make more sense. So, excuse me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 4mm jump rings. I definitely would not use 6mm jump rings on this. They're just going to be too big. I know some people don't like to use these tiny little jump rings, but it is necessary in this circumstance. So I'm opening up a 4mm jump ring. I'm going to hook it onto one of those little openings in the bead cap, and then I'm going to thread on one of the wrapped loops on the end of one of my beads, and I'm going to close that back. I'm going to do that on every single one of these. So we've got 7 total, and we're going to have 7 dangles. You guys know I love a bead dangle on things, and this makes me really happy because there's 7 of them. So just want to be sure that your jump ring will fit through. Hold on, I'm beading all here. There's just a little snippet of metal that was in the way there. We'll thread the jump ring on, thread on our bead, close it back, I saw Kansas City go by. I actually had a dream the other night that somebody asked me how long I had been living in Kansas City. I don't live in Kansas City, guys. I don't know why I dreamed that, but I think it's probably because everybody assumes that if you're a Chiefs fan that you live in Kansas City. I totally do not live in Kansas City, but I gladly would. I'm a Chiefs fan, but I'm a Tennessee girl, which can get you in a lot of trouble because I put my Kansas City flag out front and all my neighbors have the Titans flags out. Oh, you know, we have very heated discussions when we go to the mailbox. Oh goodness. All right, so we've got two more. And this is one of those earrings that is, the way that it is shaped, it's really not going to look very good laying down. So you're just going to have to kind of use your imagination a little bit until I get you turned back around so that you can really kind of see it. Because of the angle that you guys are looking at this at, it's not going to look nearly as cool. But I'll do my best here. So you can see, kind of got this kind of jellyfish thing going on, right? I just love that. It's so fun. So we've got all of that going on, and I have to add even more to it. So what I'm going to do is I want to take one of these guys. I want this purple color. I want to bring the purple color into the earrings, okay? But I just want it to be like a, you know, just a pop of purple color. And I'm going to need, let's see, how am I going to do this? I'm telling you, design on the fly. So I'm going to thread it onto a head pin, and then I'm going to give it some length by giving it a couple of jump rings. And then I'll show you what we're going to do. So let's just go ahead and get a wrapped loop on this guy real quick. That'll help all of this make a little bit more sense. Okay, so just up and over. Taking the wire over to this side and wire wrap. Okay, so there's that. I want this to hang in the center, and I want it to kind of peek out from the bottom of all of this kind of gray color. So in order to do that, I'm gonna have to use a bead, and I'm gonna have to use some jump rings. So let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna take an eye pin and I'm going to add, I'm gonna try 3 jump rings. It may take 4, but we'll go with 3 to start with. I'm gonna take, those are already linked together and I don't have time to fight with those. So sometimes it's just not worth it, you know? It's like, just grab another one. So I'm going to thread on another 4mm jump ring. I'm going to thread a 4mm jump ring onto it. So we've got 2 so far. I'm going to add 1 more. This one's already open, so we're going to use it. And then I'm going to attach that to this loop on this eye pin. And I'm going to add a bead to this as well. Hopefully that's going to be enough length. If it's not quite long enough, we can add another jump ring to this, but let me show you. So I'm going to thread on one of these gorgeous Czech glass pearls. Okay. Now I'm going to thread this through that center hole on our bead cap. So all of this is going to be underneath. Oh yeah. 3 was the right amount. So again, it's hard for you to see because of the angle that you're at, but that's going to make that purple bead stick out of the bottom of all of that beautiful gray. Let's see. Just making sure there wasn't a question. I thought I saw a long dangle in the middle. Yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. Looks like a lantern. Yeah. Okay, so now I want to take my other bead cap. I'm going to turn it upside down and pop it on top of that one. And then we'll use another one of these pearls. And then we're just going to do a wrapped loop on the top of that and add an ear wire tube because that's already a lot going on. But I think that's going to be really pretty. Let's see what it looks like when we put it on. You guys are at such a strange angle here. I'm afraid that to you it looks like a hot mess, but I promise it looks pretty cool. Looks better than I thought it was going to look, that's for sure. All right, so just a wrapped loop here at the top, and then I'm just going to add the ear wire to this. Okay. And here's our ear wire. Ooh, these are going to be so pretty. I like it. I like it a lot. That's cool. That's a cool looking earring. It really, really is. Might be kind of weird looking right now, but when I hold it up, you guys are going to really, I think you're really going to like it. It's really, really pretty. And see how it kind of brings all of the colors together with the bracelet? Yeah. Super cool. All right, so I'm going to turn you around so we can put this on, and then we will, it jingles. I love it when they jingle. Put it on for you guys, and then we'll say our goodbyes. So, yeah, these are cool. That's really neat. I know it's totally different, right? But I just think it's fun. I think it's fun. I love dangles. I love using bead caps in unexpected ways. And I think that's really cool. It's like a chandelier for your ears, but not like you know how most chandelier earrings are kind of like two-dimensional. You know, you just get that flat. This is truly three-dimensional because it has that all the way around kind of look. And you can tell where you definitely want to use the 4mm jump rings for this, and not the 6mm jump rings. I feel like the 6mm jump rings are just going to be too big and kind of overpowering, but I don't know if I get a little bit closer, maybe you guys can see. I feel like I was kind of far away, but I like that. I think that's really cool. It's a very, very different. I feel like it's, you know, it's unexpected. Definitely unexpected. It kind of matches this necklace as well. Ooh, everything matches. I'm feeling the gray today. How are you guys feeling about it? So this is the stretch bracelet, and you can see it goes with the earring. It ends up going really well with the necklace as well. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to string a couple more stretch bracelets just with the Czech glass beads to make a nice little stack. I'll take a picture of them for you so that they can go onto the Jessie James Beads blog so that you'll get a better idea of what the stack is going to look like. But yeah, that's it. Quick and easy. Not a whole lot of hard stuff going on here. You know, we just kind of use the bead caps in a kind of unexpected way. And if this color pattern or this like color combination is not really your thing, you definitely can use a different strand, right? And all of the strands are 10% off, so you can kind of pick and choose whichever ones it is that you want. And just a reminder, the coupon code for the 10% off the strands is strand 10. There's no spaces. Don't forget, you can get a free spool of Elasticity, and the code for that is MAKER. Elastic bracelets, you can't go wrong with elastic bracelet. You just can't. They're for everybody. Even people who have dexterity issues and struggle with putting on clasps, elastic bracelets are where it's at. And then last but not least is the buy 3 get 1 free with the Czech glass beads, which is a great thing to use all by itself or to mix in with your favorite Jessie James beads. Always a well received and very much appreciated addition to your bead collection. So I love it when we do the Czech glass sales. I feel like it's a really great way to stock up, and they're affordable. You know, they're not super expensive, but the quality is so nice. So all right guys, that is it for me today. Oh, before I go, just a reminder, don't forget that if you want to use the 3-month payment plan for Destination North Pole, today is the day to do that. Okay, after today you have to do the whole shebang right up front. Okay, so if you're interested in using the payment plan so that you don't miss out on Destination North Pole, please do that, because we're gonna have such a good time. I cannot wait. I am so excited about it. All right, now it truly is the end for me. I will see you guys later, not today. I will see you tomorrow. In fact, you're going to get 2 Facebook Lives from me tomorrow. I will be here at 11 a.m. Eastern time with our regular project for the week with some new beads. I can't wait to show you this project. It is so cute. I cannot wait. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. And then I will have another Facebook Live for you tomorrow evening-ish, well, 5 p.m. Eastern time. That's kind of late afternoon for some of us. And I will be opening up the Destination North Pole goodie bag. So join me for that if you want to see what is included. And that truly is it for me. You guys have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see some of you tomorrow. Bye, guys.